He was fine, by the way, I should say.
Everyone's okay?
Everyone.
That is really important. Okay, here in the Hampton Roadshow kitchen with Chef Mike Farrell from Still Worldly Eclectic Tapas in Portsmouth. This morning we're making soft shell crabs and mussels and chorizo. Welcome back. Great to have you here. So, soft shell crabs.
Yes.
It is one of those things, people either love them or hate them.
Very
If
true.
you love them, we're heading into the right season.
Correct. It's just the very beginning of the season. Usually about on the first full moon in May. So
First full moon?
Yes, but we've had some really warm weather,
Yeah.
so it's kind of sped things up a little bit this year. So we should have a nice, good, long season this year.
Cool. And as far as preparing the crabs, I mean, it is something that some folks may decide to leave to the professionals, but
Well,
you're
yes.
going to give us some tips on how
It
to
can
do
be
it
a
if
little
you
bit
wanna
daunting.
Try it at home.
However, first I want to show you, these are blue crabs. Obviously, they're still alive, and they're soft.
Yep, they're moving. Okay.
I just want
Let me get some gloves on.
Right here. You can tell the difference between the female and the male. The male has a wider breastplate than the male. The male has almost like a Washington Monument
Yes.
in the breastplate.
And then this one has the more of
A wider base,
right,
correct.
okay.
So, and
Like
that's
a
how you can
pyramid.
tell the
This one
difference
has like
between
a pyramid, that's the
a
female.
female and a male.
What is the difference as far as the kind of taste, flavor, meat between the
Generally, they're about the same. Sometimes the female's a little bit sweeter. But traditionally, you'd rather eat the males than the females so the females can keep spawning and create more delicious crabs.
two? Very interesting.
I've already cleaned this one. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. So, you want to do this together?
Yes. What am I doing?
All right. Well, first, what we're going to do,
Now, this is what you'd get this from the
from a
the
market
store
or a
the-
fishmonger or your local crab shedder. So first you want to do is...
Wait, what am I
sit
doing?
Upside down. I'm going to do this one first. You want to insert your knife right here, right at the top of the blade. And you're basically cutting off
Wait
the
a minute.
face.
Wait a minute. It's still alive.
It is.
Okay.
It's like,
Okay, hang on. What am I
So,
doing again?
don't cut me.
Yeah, keep your fingers away.
Go ahead.
And I just slice?
Yep.
What am I doing
There you go.
here?
You're cutting the face off, basically.
Oh my gosh, that doesn't seem right.
But you want to be careful not to cut the claws. There you go. Here.
Okay, that doesn't.
I'll show you.
But you. Okay.
So you just one quick swift movement. And done.
Okay. All right. No,
And
you're right.
Then,
Okay.
then forget about it.
Right.
All
Okay.
right.
But it is still alive at this point?
It is still alive. Then you want to take the breastplate here.
Mm-hmm.
You remove that. It's a soft exoskeleton. And you take the feathery lungs out here. They're very bitter, and they're just not very good for eating. So you do that on both sides.
Now, you leave that in, and you will definitely taste the difference?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, very much so. That's their filtering system, so that's all this up. Now there's an air
yellow stuff.
pack here on each side, underneath the wings. You want to make sure you squeeze those out. Otherwise, when you're frying them up, they'll pop on you.
Okay.
So.
And then this part I can handle. How about
All right.
that? I'll do this part.
So this here is just a quick flour dredge. It's
Okay.
just a little bit of flour, salt, pepper, and Old Bay seasoning.
Okay.
You want to grab those tongs?
I can. And again, at this point, they're still alive.
A little bit, yes.
A little bit.
All right, pick them up, and you want to put them on the back side
Right there?
first. Correct.
Okay. And you've
The
got
hot
some
oil,
butter here?
Yes, a little bit of butter and a little hot oil. There you go.
Just you're smiling because you can tell the look on our faces. It's kind of like
Right,
wow.
but you see, that was nice and easy. See, you had a little bit of panic. I mean,
It
some
was,
people have a hard
yeah.
time cleaning those sauce. I even have some of my cooks have a hard time doing
They
that.
do?
Some people are
But
like
that was really an easy lesson, and
Right.
if you follow it to T. How
So,
long
we'll
do
leave
you
him on
want?
this side. Oops, watch yourself. We're going to leave him on here for about a minute and a half. I'm going to flip him over, turn the temperature down, and let it simmer for about another minute.
Okay, so definitely not too long.
Not too long.
Certainly.
They cook very quick.
We're going to work on this and then work on our other chorizo dish coming
Correct.
up in our next segment. Mike, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Roadshow Kitchen with Chef Mike Farrell, a.k.a. the Risk Taker from Still Worldly Eclectic Tapas in Portsmouth, making our soft shell crabs and mussels and chorizo. I call you the Risk Taker because of what we did in the last segment. This is all done, our soft shell crab dish, and people are talking about it in the buzz and saying, "Ooh, what was that?" You prepared this live on
Correct.
TV.
It's, the crabs, you want to eat them live and fresh. I mean, it doesn't get any fresher than that. Yeah. So it's the best, it's the closest you can come to, the best crab.
There you go. I mean,
You can
talking
get.
about fresh seafood, and here we are here in Hampton Roads. So on both sides, you browned them.
Correct.
And then what kind of sauce do you have
This
on
is
that?
a remoulade sauce. Just a quick little spicy, blip. So I chose that dish today because myself and 2 other chefs have been chosen by Patrick Evans Hilton to represent Team Hampton Roads in the first ever Collington Crab Cook-Off.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Myself, Chad Martin from circa 1918, and Rodney Einhorn from Terrapin in Virginia Beach are going to go down and hopefully battle and kick some butt in the Outer Banks this weekend.
Well, we wish you much luck, and certainly in this area, you either love or hate soft-shell crabs, but if you love them, you absolutely adore them, and this is an opportunity for you to show off your skills.
I hope so.
So thanks very much for sharing this recipe with us, and we've got number 2 to work on.
All right, this here is just some chorizo. It's a Spanish-style sausage.
Right.
Stand by for 1 second.
Oh, I will.
I would try to have just on low heat here. I'm going to turn them up a little bit. I just browned them here to render off some of the fat, bring out some of the flavor. I have here some great PEI, Prince Edward mussels.
I don't have to cut anything in that, do I?
Nope, you don't have to touch anything.
Very good.
They're only for mussels that have closed shells. Sometimes when they've been sitting in the refrigerator, they open up.
Right.
If you hold it for a second, sometimes they'll come back. They're good.
So you want them to be closed?
Closed shells.
Okay.
Anything open, discard.
Why would you do that?
Because it's already dead. So it cuts down the risk of eating a bad mussel. If you ever had a bad mussel, you don't want to ever do it again.
You've had it and you remember.
Correct.
So what you're saying is this is the freshest of the fresh right now.
Correct. So.
You know what that means.
All right, so here we have the mussels in the pan. We're going to add a little bit of white wine. This here is a little bit of chicken stock.
Okay. And tips for making seafood, obviously the overcooking is something you do want to avoid. So, I mean, when you're talking about a dish that you watch over, this really would be it.
Correct. And the great thing about this is I'm going to turn the heat up to high.
Okay.
We're steaming the mussels, basically, is what's going to happen. So, while we create the sauce to dip them in.
Oh, wait, what'd you put on there?
So, salt, pepper.
Okay.
All right. Then we have a couple pats of butter. Mind you, this is enough to feed 3 people. People at home are freaking out about the amount of butter, I'm sure.
You're right, 3 people. We're the whole audience. We like to share.
So, and then we're just going to sit here and let them steam for 1 second. You can see how they start to pop open.
Okay, I can see that.
The trick here is as soon as they all pop open, they're done.
Okay.
You don't have to wait any longer. As soon as the shell releases, you know that they're done. There's no guesswork in it.
Okay, done. And so, which means you are pretty much done. We're going to wrap everything up. Talk more about what's going on at Still.
Right now we have a...
Actually, we're going to wait on that. We're going to do that. And there it is, our mussels and chorizo wrapping up with Chef Mike Farrell from Still Worldly Eclectic Tapas in Portsmouth. And the soft shell crabs are done. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit as we put everything together. And you said, of course, when it opens up, they're done, and that's it.
And now any shells that do not open, you want to discard. But it looks like here we're doing pretty good.
Did a good job.
Just pour a little bit of the sauce over top.
I tell you, if you love seafood, this is the dish for you. And lots of folks in Hampton Roads, luckily, they do.
Luckily we have pretty good access to good fresh seafood around here.
Yeah.
So, and then looking onions.
You are busy. The soft shell crab competition coming up, and then another place where you can show off your cooking.
The Tour de Cuisine, which is a benefit for CHKD.
Nice.
It's going to be held in the Largemont section this year in Jamestown Crescent. Lots of great restaurants and families opening up their houses to kind of come see. And it's just a really good, fun, great event.
Yeah. How do you get ready for something like this? I mean, you're cooking pretty much 7 days a week anyway, and then you have these other events where you're really showcasing the skill. People are watching you.
Luckily, I have a good, talented crew that works with me, so I'm able to get out of the kitchen and feel semi-comfortable. But so far, so good.
Yeah, very, very nice. Now, you were talking about earlier the inspiration for these dishes, which actually are on your new menu.
Correct. Well, I'm running the soft shells currently right now, as are in. I was out with a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, Krisha, and we were talking about mussels. We were eating these great mussels, and she's a big fan of chorizo, so I told her I'd create a dish for her.
No, this is such a great flavor to put together, and I honestly wouldn't have thought to do that. But this is a great way to marry the flavors.
It's a very Spanish tapas-style dish. So.
Talk about the soft shell crabs, which again we've discussed it being something either you love or you hate. But some people may not even know what this is as far as flavor. So can you describe what it tastes like?
Very sweet on the crab, especially the claws. But you get the crispness, which you normally wouldn't get. Like if you're eating a crab cake or picked shelled crab, so you're still getting the sweetness of the crab, but you're not getting the crunch.
Right. So I guess people first have to wrap their brains around eating the entire crab.
Yes, and some people prefer to put it, in between salmon spun and eat it that way, so that way they don't have to look at it.
Right, that's okay too. Same thing with mussels. I mean, we talk about mussels a lot here on the show, but this is also an acquired taste.
They are. It's a texture issue. Some people have, funny things with textures. These are very similar in texture to oysters and clams, only not quite so chewy.
Again, I mean, if you want to try some of the seafood that you can find here in your own backyard pretty much, this is the way to start. This is on your new spring menu. Where can folks find the restaurant itself? And you've been doing very well, I hear.
I'm on the corner of Court and Queen in Old Town Portsmouth, right around the corner from the new Children's Museum. So come check out the museum, come say hi.
Yeah, in 2 weeks and a day it'll open up, so don't be surprised if you get a rush of people and kids. All right, these recipes will be online at thehamptonroadshow.com. We'll give it a taste test before the end of the show. Chef Mike, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, let's send it over to Carrie with our very